We recognize these people because they've made specific contributions. The interpretive center, the work of the national parks, the photography, the documentation, the oral histories. And these three things, including this pilgrimage, these are beacons, in a sense, that bear witness to the injustice of that period. And I was asked earlier by somebody, it's 39 years, why do you keep doing this? And it seems, she said, that there's a certain urgency. And Lillian mentioned urgency. And I think there's an urgency for two reasons. One is time is marching on, and we are losing the former internees. And the physical reminders, whether they are our family or whether they are the various sites where our families were interned or held prior to being sent off to camp, are also under stress. There's an attempt to make sure that Santa Anita Racetrack has an appropriate marker and is recognized as one of the places where the internees were held prior to coming to camp. Santa Anita Racetrack, Tan Ferran Racetrack, are places where people were held in the stalls, the horse stalls, waiting to be sent off to the camps that their relatives were actually building. And we want to recognize that these physical reminders are absolutely essential to making sure that this doesn't happen again. But it's beyond the physical reminders. There's a political urgency as well. Right now, someone asked me also earlier, you have a Muslim speaking. Why are you having a Muslim speak? How did you make that connection? And my response was, it's a natural connection. When you have the same terms being applied to the Arab and broader Muslim communities that were applied to the Japanese and Japanese American communities following the bombing of Pearl Harbor, when you have similar war hysteria being whipped up, you have racial profiling, you have entire communities being blamed and being scapegoated and being attacked and being denied what Darrell talked about was so precious to us, denied their civil liberties, civil rights, where the U.S. Constitution that many of our relatives fought and died to defend is being challenged. It's clear that some in our country have not learned the lessons of Manzanar. Some in this country have not learned the lessons of the camp experience and need to be reminded. And in that sense, we have an urgent need to reflect on what happened to the Japanese American community, recall the injustices and the hardships that they endured, to make sure, as Tom Leatherman said, there are no more Manzanars. So we ask you to join us. We ask you to join us at every opportunity to remember what happened in the camps, but more importantly, to struggle to make sure that it never happens again to anyone, any community. And that's why we ask you to join us in continuing the legacy. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce.